Food. We all love food. But of course, we can't eat food all the time, especially if we're just gonna start to work like me. So I'm gonna give this to you. Just kidding. But anyways, talking about food, we all love talking about how it's eaten, what to eat today, how do we cook food, and also how we diet. Diet's been an amazing thing that's taken the market by storm recently. Guys, diet, okay? But anyways, the modern version of diet can be also eating pizzas, eating sweets, and that'll be fine. Today, we'll have a person to talk to you exactly about what diet and food really means today. Hey guys, welcome back to the studio, and of course today we're going to talk about food and beverage, and who better to talk about food and beverage than our lovely MC Hugo, and she is also the owner of 2 restaurants, 1 tea house.
Yes,
and
exactly.
she's done also a ton of other business. So thanks so much for taking the time and coming here.
Yeah, thank you, because I'm so missing you.
It's been a long time. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about food, since the topic today is on food.
Okay.
How passionate and where does your passion for food come from?
Chicken, chicken, and chicken.
Chicken,
That's
and
why.
chicken.
Everything I do is all come from my passion. Yeah, my love for chicken is when I was a little girl. Every day my mom just asks me like, "Hi girl, what do you want today?" I just say chicken. And until now, I can eat every day. Yeah.
Now you have
That's
2
great.
chicken restaurants.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
big and one a little small,
Yeah.
but cozy.
Very, very cozy. I've been there. And the name is really unique. Where does the name come from?
That's my home name from my little son. He make it.
Yeah.
Because I call him Ông Làng, so he call me back, Ba Đông.
That's cute. So when it comes to dieting, will you go on a diet
No.
before anything?
No, I've never ever tried. Yeah, I eat everything, and never been on a diet before, and even from now on, because I always feel good with my body.
That's perfect. I think it's great. I think it's a great thing to feel good about our body.
Yeah.
I have to admit though, I did go on a diet several times before.
Really?
Yeah, not just once, several times.
How do you feel?
I didn't feel good. You know, I was on a very low to no carb diet, and you know, I felt a little bit the lack of energy. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And I felt sleepy a lot of the times. But right now, you know, I'm keeping a healthy diet.
Great.
In the sense that as low carbs as possible, but still
Yeah.
some to keep my body going.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Low carb is perfect, but it doesn't work for me. I cannot live like low carb for every day, you know. I never tried.
So let's describe your meal. What do you eat in the morning? What do you eat at lunch? And what do you eat at dinner?
Morning, normally I prefer some bánh bao and bread. At lunch, maybe some hot pot.
Hot pot. Chicken
I
hot
love
pot.
hot pot. And at night, normally I eat in an Italian restaurant, and I'm gonna have a little steak with mushroom.
So you're one of those people that it's like, oh yeah, you like your meat, you like your proteins at night.
Because I have to work maybe very late at night, so I
Yeah.
have to have a really good dinner, so that I can prepare things and strength for my work.
Well, you're such a hard worker. Like
Yes.
sometimes you work days and days and days without break.
Non-stop.
How do you eat during those times?
Sometimes I have to stop thinking about food. Gonna distract me from work, because
Yeah.
sometimes we are getting used to like work for the whole day,
Yeah.
and then I just have like 1 or 2 menthol per day. Sometimes it's like that.
So tell us a bit about, the tea house. How do you enjoy a good cup of tea?
Because I love fruit, so I want to mix. So maybe sometimes I think of new fruit tea, then I have to try to make it as soon as possible. And I will invite all of my friends to taste it before I public it. And I think the perfect time to enjoy a cup of tea is early in the morning, when you need some type of energy to clear your mind
Yeah.
and ready for everything. But you need to remember one thing. You have to eat something before you drink a cup of tea. If you're hungry and then you drink a cup of tea, you will feel not really good. Like tea sick.
Oh, so it's kind of like an overdose of caffeine.
Yeah.
You feel sick. So are you one of those girls that wake up in the morning with a cup of lemon tea and then you
Yeah, I love it. But with a little bread.
With a little bit of bread.
Yes.
So last question before we go on to our next section, which is going to be quite interesting. But the last question is, how do you think food has helped you in your family life, or does it? Is it an important part in your family life?
It's very important, but for me, I'm not that lucky because I'm kind of too busy people. So when I come back home, my parents already finished dinner. And my mom, she has a very special menu for herself.
So she's on a diet too.
Yeah, not exactly a diet, but something special for her. And then sometimes my dad has to follow her, but that type of food is not my type.
Yeah.
So I have to have dinner somewhere else before I go home. So that's why when you say about it, I feel a little bit sad because it's a long time I didn't have a feeling of having dinner or lunch with my parents.
Well, then it's time to tell them to have dinner, in the perfect family
maybe
setting.
Tonight.
Yeah, maybe tonight. All right, so I hope that you get a chance to have that family dinner with your whole family together.
It used to be great.
All right, we have a challenge for you, and it also involves some tea.
Ah,
yes.
Nice.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
We have 5, basically cups right here, and one of that is your tea. And your challenge today is to basically take a sip and guess which one is your tea. Because all the tea here have been covered, and so you won't know the brand.
Interesting.
But yes, here you go. Please have a
Thank
sip
you.
of each of the tea.
I'll try from the...
Woohoo!
This is like, I'll say hazelnut.
Hazelnut.
Something like that.
Wow, it sounds good. It has bubbles and pearls as well.
Okay.
And what is the next one?
This one.
Next one. What does that one taste like?
Bubble.
Tastes like bubble.
Not so sweet. And a little milk.
Oh.
I think this one with maybe very little milk. It's not really milk tea. This is not normal milk tea.
Interesting. So it's more tea than milk tea. Interesting. Is that one?
No.
That is not one. Okay, so we have one last one. Let's see if this one is it, okay?
Ah, the last one?
Let's see if this one is it.
Last but not least.
Last but not least. What do you think of that one? What's the flavor?
A lot of milk.
A lot of milk.
And some type of syrup.
And some type of syrup.
And
from your face, I'm guessing. I'm the one that's guessing now.
This is so familiar to me.
So familiar to you.
Yeah.
Is this the one?
This is the one.
It is the one.
Hugo tea.
All right. Can we have an answer, please? Is this the one? It is the one. You got it correct. Woohoo! But among all of these tea, which one do you like the most? What flavor?
Of course, my tea is the best.
Sorry, this should be out. Out of these 4.
This one?
This one you like the best.
Yeah.
Why?
I like the flavor of chocolate.
Oh.
I'm still finding like a way to combine, to mix it with my tea too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because the kids really love to drink chocolate tea, you know?
Yeah.
They also always ask me like, hey, do you have chocolate tea? I think, okay, I'm trying to make it.
That's great. I'm excited when that comes out. I think I'll be a little kid as well.
Yes.
So I think to sum up for our audience, you know, when they want to talk about tea or when they talk about food and drinks, what are some of the phrases or words you think they can remember?
In Vietnamese, we say like có thực mới vực được đạo.
Okay,
so
you gotta
English,
explain this to
like
me. What does có thực mới vực được đạo mean?
Okay.
So có thực is to eat, right?
Yeah,
What does vực mean? Is it a cliff?
No, it's like to eat is to motivate you to work.
Oh.
Something like that. Vực is motivate.
It's like to bring something up, right?
Yes. And raise you up.
And Dao is what? Dao is...
Dao.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's like, I think it's like if you have to work, then you have to eat first. Something like that.
Oh,
Very
I
simple.
Yeah. Perfect. The Vietnamese wasn't so simple,
Yes.
but the meaning I think is something that, you know, we can all use for our own daily life. And I think what Vân is trying to tell everyone is that, you know, no matter how hard we work and no matter how we forget to eat sometimes, I think eating is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
And
circle
when
of
you
life.
are able to eat, it means like you are very happy.
Yes.
That you still can feel the taste of the food. It's the best time of your life.
Oh.
Because when you lie down, you have, you know, stress, sick things, you cannot eat anything. So that's the very worst time.
Yeah, I love how you say that, you know, like if we can still feel the taste of the food, it means we're still alive, we're still living, and we're still conscious, right?
Exactly.
I love that. All right, thanks so much. Next up, I would really want you to try what we have in store for you. Because we are the Tam IELTS show, and one of our expertise is basically the IELTS test.
Okay.
And we would like to put you through the IELTS challenge. So excited. You look so excited.
Because, you know, the last time I did an IELTS exam is like almost 10 years ago. So now it's like something like remind me of
the test, right?
Yeah.
But you know
My
what?
youth.
You know what? This test is not going to be the typical test. It's going to be so physical, so fun, and you'll enjoy it. And I'm here if you need anything. If you don't like anything, you can just say, hey, Phoebe, you know, help me out.
Okay.
All right, high five.
Yeah.
So guys, next up is the Ielts Marathon, where our contestant, our guest, will have an opportunity to check out what the Ielts is like in a very physical manner. So let's check out what the Ielts Marathon is right now.
This is the Ielts Marathon. With the first challenge, you have to look for 3 items: the passports, the key, the confirmation letter. After that, you have to be ready for a perfect photo shoot. Then perfect fingerprints. Moving on. Series of challenges will be ready for you at the monitor. And the last and surely the hardest one, you will have to hide away from the spotlight, collecting 6 characters, then form a word. The Ielts Marathon is ready right now.
Welcome back to the studio, and we are here with the Tam Ielts Marathon Challenge, and of course our contender is no other than the fabulous Vân Hugo.
Thank you.
What have you done to prepare for this challenge?
Just breathe.
You
Just nothing.
Just breathing and doing nothing is the perfect preparation for this challenge, but not for the Ielts, guys.
Okay.
So we're gonna start off with the devil's place. Please stand here.
Yeah.
And then first you gotta close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
And let's have the mess ready. All right, 1, 2, 3, open your eyes.
Wow.
That's your mess. Go, find your 3 items.
Oh my God.
Inside
Take off my shoes.
Okay, she's taking out her shoes. You're game, girl. You're game.
I know. Where is it?
Sometimes it's attached to something.
Maybe here.
Is it in there?
Passport?
You got 1 out of 3. Okay, you got 2 more items. You still have the key and you still have the information letter.
Yeah.
But is anything in there?
The key is here.
There you go, girl. You got 2 items out of 3. Okay, only 1 left. Now where can the information letter be?
That's it. The confirmation letter.
It's a horrible mess
Yes.
because it's always impossible to maneuver. It is not in there. Okay, I'm gonna go and help you. I think this is becoming way too difficult. I'm gonna go and help.
Yeah.
If it's not in here, where can it be? Where can all of it be? No.
No.
No. Okay, we got teamwork. You look at that, I'm gonna look at this, okay?
Okay, okay.
Let's see. Where? Is it in here? Oh,
Here, confirmation letter.
oh, and it was there without her. Okay, yay.
God.
So we got the 3 items. Now you can move on to
Okay.
basically the photo shoot and fingerprint challenge. Maneuver around the mess.
Okay. Ah. What the?
Got 10 seconds. Careful. Perfect. It is the perfect photo. Please have a look at the photo and then you're going to move on.
Okay.
You can
Where
press
is
the
it?
play button.
I don't know how
I think
to...
it's the happiest Ielts photo I've ever
yes.
seen. Perfect.
You won.
All right, you're on to the next challenge, the fingerprint challenge. You gotta make sure you fingerprint all 10 fingers. All right, make sure you print 10 fingers. Do you ever do fingerprinting while you're a kid?
Yeah.
Yes.
Reminds me of my childhood.
Does your son do a lot of this?
No.
No.
Okay.
All right, dry your fingers. It is perfect, perfect. And then you're gonna go off to the next challenge. All right, we have the first challenge, and it is called the headphone challenge. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. May we have the sounds, please?
You will hear a guide talking to a group of visitors to a farm.
Welcome to the Fiddy Working Heritage Farm. This open-air museum gives you the experience of agriculture and rural life in the English countryside at the end of the 19th century. Now let me give you some idea of the layout of the farm. The building where you bought your tickets is the new barn immediately to your right. And we're now at the beginning of the main path to the farmland. And of course, the car park is on your left. The scarecrow you can see in the car park in the corner beside the main path is a traditional figure for keeping the birds away from crops. But our scarecrow is a permanent sculpture. It's taller than a human being, so you can see it from quite a distance. If you look ahead of you, you'll see a maze. It's opposite the new barn, beside the side path that branches off to the right,
The
just
G
over
is
there.
maze. Is that?
It's
The
G
maze
maze.
is the G.
It is absolutely correct. You're on to the next question, which is the answer sheet challenge.
Okay. So this one I can see the Master Chief is wrong.
Master Chief. Is this correct? It is absolutely correct. You're on to the next reading challenge. What I recommend is you read the questions first and then answer, and then read the paragraph.
I just say true or false.
True or false are not applicable, yes.
Okay. Number 2, true. Is that right?
You're absolutely correct. And now you're on to the paraphrase challenge. And these 3 words, you just pick 3 words and find the synonym for them. 3 underlined words.
Okay. England, British.
England, Britain, is this correct? You're absolutely correct. You got 2 more words.
Okay. People, human.
Human for people, absolutely. And you're done with 2 out of 3. 1 more.
Raise, increase.
To raise, to increase. Is this correct? All right, you're on to the next challenge, and it is the pronunciation challenge. And what you have to do is you got to read the paragraph, and our fantastic robot will tell you if you're on to the next one. So you got to get 1 sentence absolutely correct.
All right.
There you go.
The tea with an amazing aroma tasted fresh and was absolutely delightful. It had a perfect mix of real tea and peach, sweet but not too sweet. This new and unique combination may completely replace lime tea.
All right, system, do you accept that? Our system has accepted that. Congratulations, you're done with the sitting challenge. You've sat for too long, and now you got to come up here and stand with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that you've gone through, some of the Ielts experience, how was it different from your previous Ielts experience 10 years ago?
It's totally different.
Too different, right? Yeah. And of course, we have one more challenge for you, and it's going to be a little bit different as well.
Okay.
It's called the sneak of shame. You got to sneak around the light to find some letters and bring it up to us and form a whole word with it. It's going to be very easy. I think once you get the letters, you're going to know exactly what word it is. All right,
Okay.
so are you ready for the last challenge?
All right.
Okay, you're amazing. You're so awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's have the lights off, please. All right, so we're on to the last challenge, and it's called the sneak of shame. In this case, you got to sneak around the lights so that your shadow does not get into the light. Find the letters and bring it back and form a word. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, sneak of shame, lights off, please. All right, so lights actually on. So just basically find the words. Now your hand can go into the light, just not your body. Oh, woo. There you go, girl. Oh, be careful. Oh, 1, you got 2, okay. All right, catch that one. Yes. You go. All right. Whoop, careful. Whoop.
Okay, only 1 left. I have to wait.
Gotta be careful, it moves. Girl, you're done. Woohoo.
Hi. Okay, so I have 6 words.
All right,
All right.
So we have H, we have A, we also have C. What is this?
CHA.
What can this be? We have T. Can you hold this for me?
Ah,
So
M.
we have T. What can this be?
M-A.
M-A.
M-A-T-C-H-A. Ah, it's familiar for me. Some kind of drinks. Matcha.
Oh, it is matcha. All right.
Okay. Matcha, one type of green tea.
Yes.
Latte. It's very good taste.
It's my favorite, actually,
Yeah.
matcha. You're the fastest ever sneak of shame on
Really?
this show. It is.
Thank you.
Yeah, fastest ever sneak of shame. The shadows can't keep up with you, and then these words, you just got it right away.
Thank you.
All right, so thanks so much for participating in this challenge. And of course, we're off to the next section, which is the Idioms of the Week section. And so guys, we are off to the next section, the Idioms of the Week section. And right now we're done with Hugo, but hopefully she'll come back onto the show and hang out with us.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
As well.
Thank you.
All right, Idioms of the Week, guys. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
Idiom of this week. Apple of one's eye, a person that is adored by someone. For example, as the youngest person in the family, Na is the apple of her parents' eyes. Ready up next on Tám IELTS. Our talented singer Đinh and Ninh will come back to the IELTS real-time speaking test with his determination to do it better. And you're actually waiting for this amazing smile. Dan Ruel, IELTS expert from British Council, will bring lots of useful tips to you on this show. You can't miss it. Next part comes right now.
Welcome back to the studio, and of course, in order to help you with your IELTS study tips, we gotta find the expert that's going to give you all the insights into an IELTS examiner's mind when he speaks to you. So let's welcome once again Dan Ruel to the studio.
Hello again.
Thank you, Dan, for coming. Let's talk a bit about your experience so far with the show. You know, how is it like for you being on the show?
It's been very nice. I mean, I think the greatest part of the show is the interaction. So I've been, I'm a fan of the Facebook page, true story, and I've been watching some of the comments and some of the questions and the videos, and it's really nice to see people interacting and really practicing their English.
Now, talking about the Facebook page, we actually have some questions sent to you. So let's read it, and then will you help us answer them?
I'd love to. I'll try.
All right. So the question is basically, what can I do when my mind is suddenly empty during a speaking exam? Okay, what do we do?
I guess there's two things. So if your mind is empty because you don't understand the question, then it's perfectly okay to ask the examiner to repeat it. In part one, they can repeat the question. In part three, they can actually change the words and explain the question.
What's a good way to ask the examiner to repeat the question?
So for example, in part one, you could just say, sorry, could you repeat the question, please? Or sorry, I don't quite understand. In part three, you might say, sorry, what do you mean by that? Or can you ask it in a different way, please? And they'll ask a different way. If your mind is empty because you have no ideas at all, then I think the best thing you can do is try to explain something as close as possible. Even if it's a little bit off topic, just try to do as closely as possible.
All right, so guys, you know, if you are the one that asked that question, just don't be afraid to ask the examiner to repeat the question. And of course, don't be afraid to basically speak about something that is as close as possible to that question itself. All right, so let's move on to the next section. Today we have Đinh Mạnh Ninh again on the show, and let's take a look.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
May I see your ID card, please?
Sure. Here you are.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
fine. In this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions. Did you go to high school near to where you live?
Yeah. I went to high school about 10 years ago in my hometown. It's Bắc Giang. It's a small town near Hanoi, 60 kilometers from here. When I finished my high school, I came to Hanoi to start my college.
What did you like about your high school?
High school, that's the sweetest time in my life because I have friends. I have so many good friends there. I don't have to worry about anything in high school. I just try my best to learn and graduation my high school.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Here's some paper and a pencil for making notes, and here's your topic. I'd like you to describe something you don't have now, but would really like to own in the future.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Could you please start talking now?
Yeah, sure. To describe something I don't have now, but I want to own in the future. I want a house. I want it since 2 years ago, and of course, I saw it many years ago. And while I would like to own it, I want to own a house for my family in the future, because you know that my biggest target in my whole life is just have a happy family. To get a happy family, I have to collect so many things. Just like a house for my own family, a car, enough money to don't worry about anything, to have a happy life. Maybe I will buy a house. In my dream, I build a house in my riverside with my wife, my children. It's like a fairy tale. I love it. I want to have a happy life that starts by a house.
Thank you. Now, we've been talking about something you don't own but would like to own, and I'd like to ask you some more general questions about this. Could you tell me, in your country, what type of things do you think people most want to own?
I think now the most thing that people want to own, that's high-tech productions, like a smartphone, like a camera, like a computers, or some kind of high technology car, something like this.
Why do you think high technology products have such popularity?
Because now is the age of high-tech production. You can see that so many people all over the world get crazy about this. They are looking forward to the high-tech production day by day. They want to own it. I don't know why, but the whole world is going with this.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
All right, so what did you like about that performance?
I think he really answered the questions directly. There were times where maybe he could have explained in a bit more detail, especially in part one, but I think all of his answers were right on target, exactly what the examiner was asking.
There's one thing that he mentioned that I think can potentially be a common mistake for people. He said he wanted to own some high-tech production.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about this?
It's quite common. We call that word form. So for example, product, we also have production, produce, things like that. So it's very common because in Vietnamese often there's just one word form, whereas English we have different forms for different types of words. So I think the examiner can still understand the idea, but in terms of accuracy that could be considered a mistake.
Right. So he should have said high-tech products instead of production. So let's see how you think he did.
Okay.
All right, Đinh Mạnh, how do you think you did on that performance?
I don't think that is good as the first time I have the exam, that I'm not so confident about this.
How many points do you think you got?
Maybe 6.
He said he got a 6. Do you think this is a fair score, or should he aim higher?
I think maybe a little bit higher. The things he'd really need to do to get a 7 or higher would be to fully answer the question, so explain a little bit more, especially in his part 1. And also his vocabulary I thought was a little bit limited for these topics. But I think with a little bit of practice, I think he could go up to a 7 or even higher.
So now that we've heard Đinh Mạnh, he did say something that's very important. One of the most common Vietnamese dream is to own a house, to own a car, to have enough money to go around. And all that comes with, it's very different from what it was in the past, because in the past, my grandparents' age, they wanted to make enough money to provide food for the family. So now, what do you think about the change? Why do you think there is such a change in Vietnamese culture?
I mean, I think Vietnam as a country, it's developing so quickly. So compared to other countries, for example, Western countries, in the past they were also poor, but the development was over a much longer time. But I think Vietnam is seeing such a quick growth, and they're also very connected to the outside world. So I think those two things combined means people's ambitions are much higher than they used to be.
Okay, so talking about globalization and how Vietnam has changed, the Ielts has been introduced, and people are becoming a lot more familiar with the writing test. So to help them, we have the tips section, okay? So let's see what they have this time.
Okay.
Guys, next up is the tips section, and you're gonna have a look at, we'll figure it out, so stay tuned. All right, so the writing tips this week is actually on the table in writing task number 1. Tell us a little bit more about this table.
In my opinion, it's one of the more difficult tasks because it's not very visual. When you get a pie chart or a graph or a process, it's very visual, but a table, it's only numbers. So the first thing you need to do is understand what are the different categories, what are the things that are being measured, and the second thing that I normally do is I try to turn the numbers into a graph. So beside each row, I usually draw a little graph. So for example, if the numbers are going up, I draw an up arrow. If the numbers are going down, I draw a down arrow. Because for me, it helps make it very visual.
Because a lot of us are visual learners. And sometimes we learn a lot better, we understand things a lot better when information is turned into visuals, correct?
And the other tip I'd say is don't try to talk about every single number. What we're trying to do is look for the trends, look for the patterns, but you're not expected to describe every single detail.
What if the person has amazing English, has written so well about the graph, but he or she described the graph, 1 or 2 details of the graph wrong? Now, is this a problem?
They might get a slightly lower score in the first category called task achievement. But it's important to realize that there are 4 different categories. So it is possible to do not so well in one category, but very well in the other categories and still get a good score.
I see. All right, thanks so much, Dan.
Sure.
Those are some really good tips. So remember, when you tackle the graph, it is one of the more difficult sections, but don't be scared. You know, try to visualize the data that's on the graph, try to understand what are the sections of that graph. So we scour our Facebook page, our YouTube page every week, Dan. And as you know, we look for some of the best voices and some of the best videos every week. And this week we have a video for you again.
Okay.
So let's take a look.
Sure.
All right. Next up is the voice of the week. Stay tuned and see if it's you coming on this week.
Good evening, everyone from Singapore. I'm Thoa. You can call me Kelly as well. I'm in the last year of the Academic of Journalism and Communication. So today I'm so excited to be here and share with you about my favorite restaurant. For myself, I love the restaurant on the street or street food. Why? I can list for you 10 reasons about your question. Firstly, when we go to the street and have the meal on the street, we can order many things, and the price it is much cheaper than the same food from the restaurant. So we can try or taste more kind of food. Why not? And the second reason, when we eating on the street, although sometimes it's quite dust and noisy because of many kind of traffic means. But anyway, we have the chance to discover the lifestyle of the local people. And the most special for me when I go travel, I always prefer the street food tour to know more and more about the local people. Like right now, I have the time in Singapore and enjoy the Singapore cuisine. So thank you for listening, and now this is my time to enjoy the food I have ordered already. Thank you.
Wow, all the way from Singapore.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and showing us a glimpse of her food as well. What did you like about that?
She had a very well-organized description, very clear. The one thing I'd recommend is maybe her pronunciation. She often has chunks of words, so she'll say da-da-da, a little bit of a pause, da-da-da, da-da-da. So I think she should try and connect those words together into a full sentence instead of separate chunks.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think overall, right, I could understand her very well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know the reason why the show picked her, because of the vibrancy of her energy, because of the creativity in what she brings to the video.
Yeah.
And of course, because she's from Singapore. So guys, if you're not in Vietnam and you're watching the show, you're not excluded from all the list of the people that we're going to look at to put on the show. So send it away, send it across the ocean, and give us your videos, okay? All right, so to recap a little bit, when it comes to talking about food or writing about food and beverage, what are some of the things, vocabulary, that people can remember? Or idioms?
Yeah, there's a few. For example, somebody who really enjoys food and likes to try lots of different foods is a connoisseur, which is actually a French word, but English stole it from the French. So
Yes.
you might say, I'm a connoisseur. Another one you might say is mouth-watering. So instead of saying delicious, mouth-watering is a bit more idiomatic.
Yeah.
So something is really, really tasty, you might say a mouth-watering meal.
Absolutely. Do you think Vietnam's a good place for people going on a diet?
Not the best,
Not
I
the
think,
best.
based on my experience, absolutely not.
All right, but you know, despite the fact that you may be on a diet or may not be on a diet, Vietnam food and food everywhere in the world basically is one of the most integral things of our culture. And you know, observing food and remembering the vocabulary relating to food will not only help you in the Ielts, but also help you in your daily life and when you travel as well. So keep that in mind.
Sure.
Yeah. So thank you, Dan, for being on the show.
My pleasure.
And we hope to see you again soon.
Hope so.
Guys, that's it for this section of the Ielts Expert. But remember, we have an interaction platform with you every week. That's why go onto our Facebook, go onto our YouTube page, and send us your videos, your questions, your comments. Coffee and tea and rice and everything nice, cakes and flowers and all the things that can be related to food. Food is definitely something that I love and I'm sure we all love, and it's also one of the favorite topics of the Ielts exam. So guys, the next time you prepare for the Ielts exam, make sure that you eat well and you also look at your food and you study your food extremely well. Until next time, we'll see you again. Have a good bon appetit. Now talking about food, our whole crew has some food personalities. This is Tang, our producer, and his personality is salted vegetables. Oh, thank you. Thank you. He can be kimchi, he can be sauerkraut, he can be pickles. And why? It's because he's suitable for all cultures and always, always spicy in his ideas. And next we have our director assistant, Ngọc Anh. She is meringue. Meringue is because she's crunchy, she's sweet, and she's extremely fluffy. And the best thing is, she's better under heat and pressure. And of course we have Tuần, our cameraman. And if you remember him from the second episode, he is not caramel actually. And for this time, his food personality will reveal to you later. And I will also reveal to you my personality later. You gotta stick to the show. But until then, you can think of your own food personality, and great luck for all.